So my greatest priorities are my family, my faith, my fitness, and my career. And I would say that balancing each and every one of those have been a real priority in my life. And it's one thing that I believe has made my life fully fulfilled. I'm Barczykowski, CEO for Girl Scouts of the USA, 58 years old, and this is my daily routine. I am normally up and at it by between 4:30 and 5 a.m. I'm very flexible with my schedule because every day is incredibly different. My cell phone is my alarm clock. So the minute it's in my hand, I have access to my text, my emails, and my voicemails. So a quick scan of each allows me to see what's going on with my family and with Girl Scouts. Always begin my day with breakfast. I have never gone without breakfast ever in my life. My breakfast is always a bowl of cereal, glass of orange juice, and a big 20-ounce coffee. And another habit is I eat 6 times a day. So I eat 3 main meals and 3 snacks each and every day. The 2 meals that have stayed the same my whole life, unless I have an outside meeting, are my breakfast and my lunch. And my lunch is always peanut butter and jelly, a bag of pretzels, and a piece of chocolate. And then everything else just is flexible. So I walk to work every morning. I live just a couple of blocks from the office, and so I love that time. Just as I'm approaching the office thinking about what am I gonna do when I first get there, what's the day gonna look like. The walk from my apartment into work is about a 5-7 minute walk, so easy and quick. I am typically in our office by 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and that's a typical day, whether I'm on the road or I'm in our office. I purposely get to work between 6 and 6:30 because that gives me that 2 to 3 hours before everybody else is there to really look ahead, not only at that day, but the week ahead, to make sure I'm fully planned. I've done the research I need to do, I've read my pre-read, I'm really prepared for the day in front of me, and I just feel better going into my day. I primarily work either from the office. I love being with people, and if I'm on the road, I'm typically visiting a Girl Scout council. I've occasionally worked from home. I'm just a huge people person, so I actually love to be in the presence of other people. So my typical day consists of pretty back-to-back meetings, which I actually love. So in the world of Girl Scouting, every day is incredibly different, and because we have people from across the nation, sometimes when I'm meeting with folks from the West Coast, it can go much later at night. My typical day at the office ends by 7 p.m., but it does vary tremendously depending upon who I'm speaking with and who I'm connecting with at the end of the day. So when my workday comes to a close, I'm not a big book reader. I keep saying that's going to be something I'm going to pick up at some point, maybe in retirement, but I'm a big researcher and article reader. So I spend a lot of time looking at who I'm getting to meet, where I'm going to visit, anything that I can do to look into people, places, organizations. I spend a lot of time and listening to podcasts that will be about individuals that I'm meeting with or places that I'm going to go see. 2 of my most favorite hobbies are running and travel. And when I combine the 2, that just makes it win-win. So typically I try to get in at least 2 runs during the course of a year that I center around some place that I've never been to and that I want to visit, because then it's a camaraderie of meeting other runners and visiting places that otherwise I would probably never see. I have run 8 marathons and over 65 half marathons. I'm always in the training for one or the other. And I'm also a member of the 7 Continent Club. So I have run 5 of the 7 continents, including Antarctica. I have Asia and Africa left to go. So my weekends are full of grandchildren. I have 5 grandchildren, the oldest being 7 and the youngest being 3 months. So typically my weekends are what are my grandkids doing, because what they're doing is what I'm going to be doing. The last thing I do every night before I go to sleep is send a good night to each one of my children and to my husband. Often we're not in the same city, and so before I close my eyes, it's important for me that I've said goodnight to each of those folks. Also includes my siblings and my mom. So I have a list that each night I make sure that they've heard from me and I've said goodnight before I call it a night.